Hello everybody and welcome to Fitness Reloaded. I'm your hostess Maria Brilagi and today we are going to be talking about chocolate and sugar addiction. So if you are the type of person who can't stop eating chocolate, meaning once you start eating you just can't stop, or not just necessarily chocolate but any other sugary food, today we're going to discuss the 5 causes that tend to create this type of addictive-like behavior. Because if you want to fix the behavior, you first have to understand what is really causing it. And unlike some other videos that kind of like try to present one reason or this one fix, I will not try to do that because it's a systemic situation. There might be multiple reasons that you need to address, ranging from how you think to what you eat. So it's not just going to be one thing. I will not present you simplistic thinking. I will try to give you the big picture so you get a very good grasp of what is going on and what steps you need to take to change the situation. Let's get started. Welcome again, and today I want to get started by addressing the word addiction, because many people say, oh, I'm addicted to sugar, but in reality you're not. Meaning, do you see yourself getting a bag of sugar out of the pantry and just eating it by the spoon? That's just not what happens. It's not like, oh, I need my fix, I'm gonna get this bag of sugar from the pantry, eat it. That's not really what's going on. In reality, the behavior that looks like addiction, we call it an addictive-like behavior. And it's not about sugar in particular, it's about combinations of sugar with either fat or salt or both. So foods that have this type of combination tend to create this type of addictive-like pattern in our brains. For example, donut is a combination of sugar and fat. You might have one bite and that increases your appetite. You want to have one more. The food industry is really good at creating foods that create this type of addictive-like behavior, because this way you want to eat more and they can sell you more products. So there are lots of products out there with combinations of sugar and salt, or sugar and fat, or sugar, salt and fat that have this type of effect on you. Now the question is, what to do about it? Let's get started with the 5 causes of addictive-like behavior. Now, I have broken this down into 3 categories. One is sleep, the other one is planning, and the other one is mindset, okay? Because like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna give you a big picture view, and I will not just say, oh, it's this one thing, if only you fix this one thing, then everything's gonna be perfect, because that's just not how it works. Depending on what it's causing the situation for you, you might find that you're going to benefit by addressing 1, 2, or all 3 categories. Okay. So let's start with sleep deprivation. Now, if you don't sleep enough, if you sleep less than 5 hours a day, now that has been shown by science that it makes you more likely to pick calorie-dense foods the next day. Calorie-dense means small volume, high calories, just like donuts, just like chocolate, okay? Chocolate, combination of sugar and fat, makes you more likely to pick those types of foods the next day. It makes you more likely to snack. You might be getting over 300 calories more the next day because of that. And it creates more erratic type of eating. So not just 3 meals or 5 meals, but a lot more snacking. And because it increases cravings, okay? So the first question to ask is, am I sleeping well at night? Now, maybe you are, maybe you're not. Now, if you're not, that maybe there are steps for you to take to go improve your sleep. Now, sometimes this is not always possible. Maybe you have a baby at home. Maybe you have some other type of situation that does not allow you to really improve your sleep to the degree that you would like to. It's okay, because we are also going to talk about other ways to improve. But definitely, if you think that sleep might be affecting your appetite, you don't sleep much, then that's one thing to work on. Now let's move on to the planning category. In the planning category, I have 2 causes. The first one is eating for convenience. What does that mean? If you don't have good food prepared, but you just see a chocolate in front of you, or a chocolate chip cookie, or something like that, you're much more likely to eat it because it's just there and it's convenient. And like I was saying earlier, the food industry is really good in creating foods that taste good and make you want to eat more. And those foods are abundantly available around us. So you will have those things in your partner. Chances are those things will be in the kitchen of your office. So you will find them. And that comes down to planning. Are you eating sugary foods out of convenience? Because then that might not be exactly sugar addiction or sugar addictive-like behavior. It might more be like, well, I didn't exactly eat well, I'm skipping meals, I'm not planning well. I could be, let's say, carrying a banana with me or having fruits or other types of snacks. Instead of eating those, I just eat what is immediately available to me, and guess what is immediately available to me? The sugary stuff, because the environment is trying to make you fat. Again, go watch the video. I keep referencing it over and over. We live in an era that is obesogenic. The habits around us, how the systems are built, are made so that they expand our waistline. So that's what the environment is going to offer you. So if you think you're munching on sugary stuff because of lack of planning, why am I saying this is a planning thing? Because if you plan better, you're going to have other foods available. Okay, you will have you're more likely to cook, you're more likely to have better snacks available. So if you plan better, you might solve what you think is a sugar addiction. It's not really sugar addiction, it's more like lack of planning. Next one, low fiber diet that leaves you hungry. That's also part of the planning category. Now, what does that mean? If you eat a diet that doesn't have much fiber, this diet is much more likely to not satisfy you. Meaning, you will have a lot of calories, but you will not really feel like you're getting full and you will need even more. Well, if you eat a diet that's high in fiber, then you're gonna feel like you ate a lot and you will not really have any sort of cravings. Now, what do I mean by low fiber? Well, technically, based on the recommendations, most people should be getting at least 25 grams of fiber a day, if not more. So if you're the average American, you're most likely eating 12 grams, 13 grams, okay, because at least 95% of people in the United States do not meet that requirement. So that would be a cue for you to improve your fiber consumption. Now, how do you improve your fiber consumption? Well, you can eat more fruits, you can eat more vegetables, but you have to eat significantly enough vegetables to increase your fiber. Because many people think they're eating a lot of vegetables because, let's say, they have a spinach salad. But that's not a lot of vegetables because that's a lot of volume. It looks like there's a lot of volume, but it's not really that many calories. You end up not eating that much fiber. Whole grains as well. So instead of buying, let's say, plain pasta, get the whole wheat pasta. Look at the label. Are you getting 6 grams of fiber for 200 calories? I actually have a video, the high carb foods you should be eating when you want to lose weight. So go check it out. There's a list of foods there, I think 15 different types of foods that you can start eating more of. And this way you will make sure you meet your fiber requirement, okay? Because you know, oh, let's say I had one banana, that's 3 grams of fiber. And then I had blackberries, that's another 7 grams. 3 plus 7 equals 10. And I had this slice of bread, that's high fiber bread. That's another 5 grams of fiber, 15. And I had a cup of lentils, that's 15 grams of fiber. So 15 plus 15 equals 13. And boom. Just because you ate a little bit of fruit, a slice of bread, and chose to have lentils for lunch instead of something else. So sometimes you resort to eating for convenience, or you resort to just not being satisfied and ordering more, or just going to the pantry and looking, because the low fiber diet leaves you hungry. That's also a planning thing. It's a planning thing because if you plan better, then you can plan to include those foods that right now are not your habit. But if you don't plan better, then you will not include those foods that right now are not your habit to already eat them, or not already eat enough of them, so you will not change. So both of these, the eating for convenience and the low fiber diet, are under planning. Now we're gonna move on to mindset. Under mindset, the first thing I want to discuss is comfort eating and treats. That is when you tell yourself, I don't feel good, so I'm gonna eat some chocolate to help with my feelings, to make me feel better. Or I had a hard week at work, so I'm gonna treat myself with some chocolate. That looks like it's an acceptable way to cope with life. But in reality, well, it does make you feel better in the short term. If you feel that you have a sugar addiction that you want to get rid of, that means that this habit of yours is not constructive. So you need to think differently. What you're achieving by comfort eating is that you make settling with different negative circumstances in your life more tolerable. Let's say your husband upset you, so now you're there eating some chocolate to make yourself feel better. That doesn't help you resolve the situation with your husband. It just makes the situation more tolerable because eating chocolate tastes good. So it makes settling more tolerable. It also prevents you from addressing the situation, because if you can already feel better by eating some chocolate, that kind of allows you even more to not take more action to addressing the actual situation that's causing you distress. Maybe your boss at work is very difficult to tolerate, so now you're eating chocolate. That does nothing about the difficult situation at work. Maybe there are better things for you to do to actually address the cause of your distress other than just eating chocolate that does nothing. It just helps you feel better in the moment. This type of behavior comes down to what you think. Meaning, if you think I had a difficult week at work, so I deserve to eat chocolate, then guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go ahead and eat chocolate. So if you want to have a different to take a different action, you need to have a different thought. What does that mean? You can't keep on thinking, oh, I had a difficult week at work, so I'm gonna eat some chocolate, and then just not eat chocolate because of all your willpower. That doesn't work. What you actually have to do is change your thought. You could be thinking other things. I had a difficult week at work. I'm gonna go do a great workout. I'm gonna listen to some music. I'm gonna go out with my friends. There's so many, I'm gonna go look for other jobs, There's so many other things to think about the circumstance of having a difficult week at work. So the question to ask yourself is, if I wanted to take a different action, an action that did not involve me eating chocolate, what would I have to be thinking for me to take that action? Like I said, you can't keep on thinking, I feel sad and I need to make myself feel better, so I'm gonna eat some chocolate. But what is it that you have to be thinking so that you don't eat chocolate, but instead take some other action? That is the question you have to answer if you want to stop eating chocolate. You cannot just stop eating chocolate by telling yourself to not eat it without addressing the thought. Because as long as that thought that makes you eat chocolate is active, you can't just beat it with willpower. You have to change the thought, and you can choose what you want to think. Now check this out. This thought is a habit of yours, meaning it's going to come out naturally. Husband upsets you, I'm going to eat some chocolate. I need some chocolate to feel better, right? That's your habit. It's your second nature. But you can change the habit by having a different thought. No, wait a minute. Husband did upset me, but I don't need to eat some chocolate. There are other things I can do to make myself feel better, like communicating to my husband about how he upset me, or not communicating to my husband about how he upset me, calling my mom, I don't know what, but something else that's not chocolate. That's for you to think about, and this is the type of work you would need to do if you want to get rid of comfort eating. And now I'm gonna move on to unhealthy food behaviors, which is also a part of mindset. The fifth reason behind sugar addictive-like behavior. An example of that would be what I call a pity party. So let's say yesterday you went out and you ended up overeating and also had a lot of drinks. So today you feel sorry for yourself because you overate yesterday. So you go ahead and eat cookies and ice cream and all sorts of stuff. Or maybe you did not overeat yesterday. You just put on a dress today and the dress did not fit. So now you feel bad about yourself. You feel bad that the dress did not fit. And you hate on yourself. You think you look ugly. You think you look disgusting. So you go ahead and eat some chocolate. That kind of looks like comfort eating, but it's a little bit different because it has self-hate inside. So it goes under unhealthy behaviors. Unhealthy food behaviors. Another example is saving up calories, saving up. You know you have to go somewhere later, so you will not eat all day, so that you have more calories to spend wherever it is that you go, and then you end up overeating, and that sometimes leads to pity partying the next day as well. You know, many people would call these types of behavior as diet culture, but ultimately, this category is very similar to the previous one, meaning it's under mindset, it's what you think. For example, let's say you put on a dress that you used to wear and you now realize it no longer fits. You can make that mean that now you're ugly, Or you can just say, well, you know, it's an opportunity for me to get a different dress. This dress is kind of old anyway. I can definitely wear something more fashionable. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you a different thought, another idea, something else to think about. Again, you cannot solve things without changing the thought. You have to change the thought first. You have to ask yourself the same question. If I wanted to take a different action, what would I have to be thinking to take that different action? And definitely thinking, oh, I'm fat and ugly and disgusting, makes you feel bad about yourself, which makes you more likely to go eat chocolate. And then what's the result? What are you getting from it? So if you don't want to eat chocolate, you have to think something else about the dress that doesn't fit. And you have to think something else about you overeating the day before. You can't go ahead and start thinking, oh, I'm never going to lose weight. I'll always be like that. There's no way for me to change. I will always screw up. Because if you think those types of thoughts, then what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and eat chocolate. But you don't have to think that. This is completely optional. This is one way to think. I had more calories than I expected yesterday, but it was a lot of fun. Or let me think about how I could have still enjoyed myself, but done a little bit better from a calorie perspective, right? Like you can think different things. But if you go into pity party mode, then you're gonna be doing pity party eating. And that can be pity party sugar eating. You might be thinking it's a sugar addiction. It's not really a sugar addiction. It's your habit of throwing a pity party. Or it's your habit of saving up calories and then overeating on different things. Because it's difficult for you to eat and not have this fear that you're going to be restricted or this fear that you're going to overeat. This is an opportunity for you to develop more trust with yourself. But like I said before, you cannot change the behavior without understanding it. Here's the thing. I'm done with walking you through all 5 reasons. It's possible that you might be like, yeah, I don't sleep well at night, and yes, I eat for convenience, and yeah, I'm probably not getting enough fiber, and I do comfort eating, and I feel like I'm treating myself when I have, let's say, chocolate, and I sometimes throw pity parties. So maybe you feel like you belong under all 5 categories, okay? It's normal to actually be able to relate to more than one category, and if that's the case, don't stress out. You can start with one and improve on it. Take steps to improve on it. But what you should not be doing is be like, oh, I cannot address all of them at the same time, so I'll just do nothing. That's clearly not going to help you. If you're like, I can just do nothing, then you will do nothing. So you will keep having that problem. And you not wanting to address everything at the same time, that is okay. What's not okay is to just do nothing. Unless, of course, you want to keep having the addictive-like behavior. So start by addressing at least one, okay? Address at least one and move on from there. In the Weight Loss Habits Academy, I have specific courses that will help you with this type of behavior, okay? And I have many courses that address planning and many courses that address mindset. And definitely if you sign up, go sign up and do the mental mastery course. I have another specific course for the pity party that we just talked about. I have courses about how to eat more fiber, how to cook to eat more fiber, how to meal plan for the week. This is really the habit that in just 10 minutes a day, you will achieve more than running 15 miles a week. Meal planning is huge. So if you come to the Fitness Loaded Habits Academy, I have the courses there. We have coaching that you can come once a week and we'll talk about it. So please go sign up for the free trial. For many of these courses, you can just go through in the duration of your free trial, and you will benefit a lot while also reviewing the program and seeing if this is the right fit for you. So do not miss out the opportunity of signing up for a free trial at fitnessreloaded.com. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notifications button. I release one video every weekend, usually 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings, 6 a.m. Pacific time, okay? Eastern time, 9 a.m. So I hope to see you again next week, and I hope that if you do perform this type of behavior and that makes you feel bad and you want to create change in your life, that you got some good ideas about what is causing it and what steps to take to address it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next weekend. Goodbye.